38 degrees right now, and a good time for us to take a visit into the sports world, the realm of sports, with Father Matt Frisbee, who knows what he's talking about. Merry Christmas,
Good
Father.
morning, Father Matt.
Morning, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, good morning, Dave and Ron, and all our listeners. I don't know everything. I just play an expert on the radio.
Well, it's always great to get your insights on the world of sports. And, of course, we appreciate the fact that you're here with us on New Year's Eve morning.
Yeah, and look, we always wonder what direction we're going, but we know what we're talking about today. It is the big thing happening there in Reno, Nevada. It's the Bowl-a-thon, and can't wait to talk all about it.
That's right. Yeah, by bowls, of course, I mean football.
Yeah, I'm talking about that bowl game.
Come on, Dave, get your mind out of the gutter.
Very funny.
That's right. Now, of course, we could start with today at noon. Alabama plays Michigan in whatever bowl they're playing in. I don't even know what it is, but it's at noon today. So for those who root for our team, for the team up north, there you go. But then we have, beginning tonight, really the continuation of the college football playoffs. Penn State and Boise State play tonight, and then tomorrow, of course, for many of our listeners, we have the games, with the Rose Bowl, which is the best of all the bowl games.
Yeah.
I would love to go to the Rose Bowl at some point in my life, just because on a day like today, as it is here, gray and dreary and cold, you look out at the Rose Bowl and you see not a cloud in the sky. The sun begins to set behind the mountains, and it's nice out there. And it'd be great to go to one of those games. And Ohio State happens to play in it tomorrow. They play Oregon, and big rematch from earlier this season up in Eugene, where Ohio State lost by a point. And, of course, the end of that game, all sorts of stuff happened. The kind of bogus offensive pass interference on Ohio State's freshman receiver, Jeremiah Smith. Will Howard inexplicably running as time expired, preventing Ohio State from an opportunity to even attempt a field goal. So we'll see. Ohio State, we haven't talked since they beat Tennessee, and they really beat up Tennessee pretty good.
Yeah.
And that's the Ohio State team that I think all Ohio State fans were expecting all season long. And, that's not the team that showed up against Michigan. And, it has nothing to do with desire. Of course they want to win. I mean, we saw schematically there, Ohio State pushed the ball down the field through the air. And I think that's what we hope to see again. If that Ohio State team shows up tomorrow, Oregon's a really good team, too. I mean, so let's not say it's going to be an easy game. But if that Ohio State team shows up tomorrow, I think Ohio State wins. But we'll see who shows up.
Yeah, and look, I mean, you have to say, who was responsible for what happened at Michigan? Was that more of a coaching thing? Howard wasn't that fabulous. I mean, he was off on his passing. So if that comes together, you got a real shot at Oregon. Boy, but you're right. If the Michigan version shows up, we're in trouble.
Exactly. So, the other game, and that will be after the Rose Bowl at 8:45 or so. Another one of interest to our listeners, Notre Dame playing Georgia. Obviously, Georgia, really good team. Notre Dame's been playing really well as of late, too. And, for Georgia, Carson Beck, their starter this year, not playing. So what does that do, or how does that change the complexion of the game? So we'll see, It's
going to be fun to watch these games. It really will.
Man, how in the world did Penn State score this up one high school team and another high school team? It's crazy. Their track to the Final Four. I mean, look, I'm all due respect, but the two teams they're having to play to get to the Final Four is definitely an easier road than anybody else has.
Yeah, that's right. And this is kind of the talk of the college football playoff. I know some people wanted to kind of besmirch the teams that are in, say, SMU, Indiana, some of the others. But the reality is they did what they needed to get into the college football playoff. Alabama lost to Vanderbilt, and they lost to a bad Oklahoma team, and they lost to Georgia. So And we've seen Big Ten's done pretty well against some of these SEC teams in the bowl season as well. But I think the real issue with the playoff has been the seeding, to what you're getting to, Dave, where maybe it shouldn't be that a conference champion automatically gets a first-round bye. But, you know, they don't pay me to be a part of this. I don't know if I necessarily would want to be a part of formulating the playoff either myself.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, it's an equation it's math that includes letters. So I'm like, no, forget all that. I don't know.
No, we know you can't do that, Dave.
Yeah, that's right.
Puts me out right there.
Father Matt Frisbee, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. God bless. Happy New Year.
You too.